So, there you are. I know that you can see me. I just couldn't see you because of my chat. It was all in the way. Let's see. Who we got? We have me and Seth, Kel, Rita. Hello, welcome. I don't think we're going to get many today. It was kind of a spur of the moment thing. Just decided that I'd been working out in the Yarnavan. I was working on a tutorial, and at the moment it's downloading again. I have to do the left-handed version, and so that is for that stitch that I really, 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 really like, and I'm making that scarf for myself with. And I did some like a book review that's just popped up over on Crochet Rocks, and I was going to then do the creeper blanket. I thought I saw red then, but it's just obviously it's this light then. I was going to do the creeper, but I'm running out of time, so I figured I would come back in the house, have my lunch quick, and then do a live. Yarny Cat, hi! That's so wild. It's raining in Indiana. Oh, it's raining here. It's miserable, mind you. You know, you have to say, well, I have to say that I'm glad we're not sweltering in all that ridiculous heat and wildfires and everything that's going on in Europe, but would be nice to have a little bit of summer, because we've really had quite a, I was going to say, it rhymes with trap and starts with a C. We have had an awful, awful summer. It's been there. To be honest with you, every day we have some quite sunny weather, but it's just rainy, or one minute it's nice and then it's a bit gloomy. Am I dark? Oh, that's just changed the colour. That made me brighter though, didn't it? I was going to try and do that. No, that's not so nice. Oh, now, what one was it? That one. Turn it down a notch. That's a bit better. I see another comment. Rain, you don't mind. It's better than tornadoes. It is definitely better than a tornado. We had a water spout in in the UK. It's about the only thing we'd get, water spouts. The amount of rain that we keep getting, I don't know. It's been a bit of a wet winter, and now it's a wet summer. Maritza, hola. I hope where you are is not too hot. It's not here, that's for sure. I feel a little bit jealous, but not really. I mean, you know, the rest of the world is burning up, to be honest. But, you know, I don't want that. Certainly don't want that. Even though I've got aircon now. So if it did, I wouldn't really notice. I'd just be inside. You know, that's the trouble. Having aircon, if it is really, really hot, I retreat to inside, and therefore I miss it anyway. So it's either raining and I miss it. And Gary actually wore trousers to work rather than shorts because it was cold. And so I said, summer, huh? But yeah, you either miss it because it's too hot, or you miss it because it's not. Anyway, got a cup of tea, and I meant to show this on my chat this morning. Wee! And I was going to say to Linda Fairbrother, who bought me this cup, it didn't seem 5 minutes ago when I was saying that I had 5,000 subscribers over on Crochet Rocks, obviously, because it is a Crochet Rocks cup. I don't have a Rock Steady cup. Maybe I need one. Maybe I need a Rock Steady cup for my Rock Steady lives. Hey, Crochet and Grammy Tammy. Good morning, good afternoon. When the aircon breaks down and you're used to it, yeah, that would be purgatory. That would, especially for us, you know, over here in the, well, the UK, otherwise known as either tropical or rainy season these days. You know, for me to get used to the aircon and then it to pack up would be, it would be. because I've never really dealt with heat that well. I'm a kind of a, I'm just not. I'm not designed for hot weather. Hi Tracy, welcome. Don't forget the thummies, guys. When I say I'm not designed for hot weather, when I was in extreme heat, like when we was in Las Vegas, I loved it because it wasn't humid. But, I'm not designed for humidity, put it that way. Partly cloudy, 73, a nice breeze in PA. PA. USA. PA. I want to say Philadelphia or something beginning with P, but it might not be. Philadelphia, I reckon. Are you in Philly? Well, it's quite confusing for us when we only get 2 letters. Sometimes it's easy to figure them, and other times, Pennsylvania. See, they both started with a P and ended with an A. So it confused me. 5,000. Indeed. So, yeah, welcome everyone. Don't forget the thummies. And, well, it's miserable. Really is. I went out in the Yana van. I was working out there. And then I kept thinking, oh, I've got to go back in the house to get so-and-so. And every time I got wet, I thought, oh. So I ended up with headscarf. I looked in the mirror and I thought, oh my God, I remind me of my mother, with my headscarf on. Only she used to go out with a headscarf on with hair curlers underneath. I'd never do that. I don't know if I could ever do that, to be honest. But I know it was back in the 60s. Everybody was going, or 70s. But everybody was going out with the crackers in and their headscarf on. But it was the headscarf era. People wore headscarves in their cars not to get hair blown. And, people don't tend to reach for the headscarves anymore. Only other cultures. But that's for a totally different reason. So I bought 2 when I first had my operation, because I've got this scar that goes from my ear all the way to there. And when I first had my operation, it was red and angry. Boy, was it bright. I've never seen a scar so bright in my life. It was crimson. It was actually the colour of this. Seriously, horrible. Really was. So, no amount of, powder was going to sort that out. So, yeah, I bought a few scarves to wear around my neck so that people wouldn't stare. And, of course, in the early days, I had staples, which made it even worse. It was like a zip, got a zip round there. So, yeah, I had a few headscarves for that. But, didn't really use them as headscarves. Where are we? Going to be 100 and humid in Kansas in the next 5 days. Oh, that sounds awful. It does. It doesn't seem fair, does it, when you've got like Vegas with 0 humidity because it's a desert, and then you get like humidity in the rest of the country. It doesn't seem fair. Can't wait to get your own yarn space like my Yana van. Oh, it is amazing. I actually really enjoy working out there now. When I first had it made, I used to go out there and I'd spend a little bit of time and then come in. And I did a lot of filming in here, and I used to think, why am I not out there? Then it dawned on me, it was winter, it was cold and it was bleak, and I hadn't sorted it all out. And I've got now a couple of little heaters that I can get working, because back then I had plugs on the floor, but now I've got up high plugs so I could plug them in and be warm. Why is this saying that it's waiting for me? How strange is that? How can it be waiting for me when I'm here? I don't know. Hope everyone can see me all right. Might just be my strange... Let's come out and go back in again. How bizarre. I'll be my alter ego and see if it works as somebody else. How strange. I can't find it now. Oh, there you go. So, no, it still says waiting, and I'll just say hello as Diet Rocks. But no, oh, there I am. It works now. I can see myself, and I just see myself say hello. It's 10:42 a.m. and 77 but the high today is going to be 90 in Villarica, GA, Georgia. I'm about 1 hour west of Atlanta. Okay, well, nothing like that here. No, it's not exotic. I'm in the southeast of England, and the southeast of England is the warmest part, believe it or not. Mostly, you know, obviously you get some days where the country would be, like Scotland would be hotter than it. It's a very rare and unusual, but you know, this is the hottest part. So I live in Kent, which is southeast. You also get really, really nice hot weather southwest, which is more Devon and Cornwall way. But because they've got a different ocean, they tend to have a bit of ocean mist in the mornings, and it gets burnt off around 12. But when it is beautiful there, it is stunning because it's the Atlantic and you get waves to surf by. I know, can you believe it, in England? I know. But we don't get that this side of the world, you know, this side of the country rather. We just get the sea and the North Sea at that. So it's nothing glamorous, our sea. Yeah, so I'm on a little tiny island in the southeast, in the northern part of the southeast. Does that make any sense? If you think of England shaped like that, I'm on this bit over here. As it goes up like that and then it bulges, kind of thing. Kent is that sort of area that goes like that, and I'm in the top bit of it. And this little tiny island that's 7 miles long. That's all it is. Hi Tracy. There's 3 of us now. 3 Tracys. It's dry in Manchester for a change. That is incredible, to be honest with you. Cheers guys. Gonna have a quick slurp. Oh, I needed that. I just did a tutorial. It won't pop up today because I've got to do some work on it. But it's for that really nice stitch that I've been working on. And I forgot what I was going to say about it now. No, it's gone out of my head. Why was I going to bring that up? Nope, it's gone. Totally gone. I don't know. I have no idea why I was going to say that. Isn't that funny? What was I talking about before? I can't remember. Nothing can kind of jog my memory as to why I was bringing that up. It'll come. Probably do it tomorrow anyway. And then, I don't know. Maybe. Then it'll be hump day, won't it? Hump day sounds rude. Hump day. Happy hump day on Wednesday, obviously. I've tickled myself now, I'm sorry. But yeah, I went to Manchester a couple of times. Rained both times. And the first time I went with work. I used to work for a company that belonged to Asda. It was called Dales. I don't know if anyone in the UK remembers Dales. There weren't that many stores, but it was because in America there was this company who sold more goods per square foot than any of the larger shops, you know. So Archie Norman, who was in charge of Asda at the time, went over and see this guy, and it was a stack it high, sell it low kind of thing. So we decided to make this new concept store called Dales, and it was part of Asda, which is now Walmart. Not that we call it Walmart, but it's part of Walmart. Well, it was, still is a lot. Anyway, so yeah, worked for them, and we had to go to head office one day for a meeting, and it was 90 something degrees as we left, and then halfway there it started to cloud over. By the time we got there, it was freezing cold, raining and awful, and we were shivering because none of us took a coat. You know, you're not going to take a coat when it's glorious sunshine and 90 degrees outside. But we froze and we got wet. But you know, the second time we went because one of my kids met a girl and wanted to meet up with her. So we went all the way to Manchester so that they could have like a little date. And me and my husband of the time we went round the Arndale Centre, and was it or the Bull Ring? I can't remember. It was the Arndale Centre, I think it was. I don't remember seeing any bulls anyway. Might have been the Bull Ring. I don't know. You'll have to tell me. But anyway, we went round the shopping centre and went in this weird pub. And when we walked in, it was extremely long. You know, it was, I've never seen, my mum used to work in what was called the Long Bar. And that was a pretty long bar. But this one, it was near the shops as well. And it was very, very long. And it was a sort of spit and sawdust kind of pub. And we felt very conspicuous of our accents all the time we were in there. You know, kind of go up the bar and just go, pint. So they didn't know that you were like southern. But yeah, it was good. We had a good time there. Arndale Centre's in, yeah, that's it then. Is it Birmingham, the Bull Ring then? So excited. You're getting to see a live Beth. Beth. I've missed you. I've missed you. I have missed you lots. Now, I just packaged up your order. I don't like having to do this, but I'm going to have to send it in 2 different parcels because they changed the way that we're allowed to send stuff with Royal Mail, size wise. And to get that size, I'd have to go with Parcel Force, and they're bad, man. They can lose your parcel. I just don't like using Parcel Force. Now, I have toyed with the idea of using someone like UPS, or I think I'd need to be busier for them to want to work with me, any of those. But Julie got 2 parcels. They arrived on the same day. A few people have had 2 parcels and they've been fine. So I'm really sorry, but I have to send it that way. But it's the only way I can do it, because if I went via Parcel Force, it gets ridiculously expensive. I mean, it does. It really awful expense. But yeah, it's so good to see you. Well, hey. Yeah, I was hoping that you would email me, because you did say you might, and let me know where you've been. But cheers, guys. I can't believe this. That it doesn't seem 5 minutes ago I was unwrapping this. And there I am, like 5K in 2020. How cool is that? You're ecstatic? Hang on. To get yarn from you, so what's best for you? Well, thank you very much. I'm so glad that you're not going to mind, because, you know, I don't like it if I have to do things and people not necessarily like it. But yeah, it's cool. You sent one this morning. Oh, cool. I haven't had a chance. I've been so busy. I got up this morning and I had to do a wake-up call for my son, who's busy today. So I woke him up, and good job I did, because he had something happened last night, and he was in a bit of a tiz about where he's got to go and what he's got to do. And he said he'd got to go where he had to go. He thought he had to go all the way through London. I went, no, you don't. You really don't. You go this way. And so I'm really glad I spoke to him, because I bet he was in some kind of free fall. And so I managed to sort him out. But then I started on my chats and everything else, and I've been working all day out in the caravan. Yarnavan. Let's call it the Yarnavan. I find it very difficult. I don't know why. It's my Yarnavan, and yeah, I have to get a little sign. The Yarnavan. So yeah, I've been out there packing orders, and what else have I been doing? I did 2 book reviews, one for today and one for next Monday. So I've got one in the bag, you know. And I did a tutorial on that stitch that I'm really, really enraptured by at the moment. I like it no matter what yarn I've done it in, what weight of yarn, and whether I change colours or whether I use self-striping or one of those yarns that's like Stylecraft Cabaret. Whatever I've done with it, every time I do something with it, I think that's my new favourite. It just really looks like it's such a good versatile stitch, and I like it both sides. You know, sometimes the reverse of something is ugly. Well, the reverse of this one, I think, is actually the best side. So yeah, I like it, and I've uploaded it. I'm just currently working on the left-handed one, and then hopefully I can get that put out tomorrow. And then tomorrow, I need to, tonight and tomorrow, I need to sort out my creeper blanket, part 2. And then I will be up to date and I can get on with that mile a minute that I've been trying to work on. But I don't know if any of you have seen that. It's kind of really a new style of mile a minute. It looks really nice. You can't wait to try it. It is lovely, that stitch. I'm really, it's so easy as well. It just looks good and it's very easy. I'm going to slurp this. I don't like to slurp it in front of you. You know, gulp it down, but it's getting cold. And so that I don't go all dry, because that keeps happening to me. I've got some water, but try not to look. Find it really difficult. See, if I was on my own, I'd go glug, 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 burp, be done. But I'm not, am I? I'm in polite company. Well, I think you're polite. I'm sure you are, really. I nearly did a live stream last night, but I had a very emotional evening. Oh, so that wouldn't have done. I'd have been in there going, oh. Yeah. It was kind of emotional for me. It's just lots and lots of things have changed in my life. Lots of turning points, and certain things will never be the same again. And, you know, it's just very, very difficult at the moment. It's too much, too many changes. And, you know, sometimes, you know, it's a good thing. And especially when it concerns your children, because you know that they're, you know, they're moving with their lives and this is happening, that is happening. But it's not necessarily always good for mummy, you know. Cheers, last bit. So I've been watching, Mike got me into this. I got him into Tulsa King. He's loving it. But he said to me, Mum, I keep telling you, watch Line of Duty. It's really good. So I had to watch it on BBC Catch Up, you know, the iPlayer thing. And I steamed through that first season in a matter of days. Really, really good. And the guy from Walking Dead's in it, you know, what's his name? Oh, I can't remember the name of the character. Oh, no, it's gone out my head. He's the black guy, one who had the stick. He was in Snatch. Anyway, it popped into my head then and then it went out again. You're going to know, aren't you guys? What's his name? Nope, it's gone again. It nearly popped in. Does it annoy you when memories just go, nah, you're not going to know. Oh, what is his name? It's going to bug me now. But anyway, he was in it. Obviously playing English person, because he is English. But obviously in The Walking Dead he played an American, as did the guy who played Rick. What was that guy's name? I don't know. Anywho, I hate saying anywho. Glad you're doing a tutorial. I'm unable to crochet right now, so I can start later. Oh, well, I hope that changes. You will learn. I totally understand where you're at right now. I'm going to pray for you. Oh, bless your heart. Yes, I just don't like changes, I suppose, you know. But, you know, they can't stay babies forever. That's the thing. Anyway, still can't remember his name. It's really annoying when that happens. I don't know why. Anybody got his name? You know the one I mean? Black guy with stick? No, just totally gone. No idea why this keeps happening to me, but my throat keeps drying up. I know that I'm possibly could say I talk a lot, but I've always talked a lot, but it still keeps happening nevertheless. So I've got a little bit of water. Oh, it nearly popped in my head then. I'm going to stop thinking about it until somebody tells me it. Samuel Jackson. No. It's not his real name. No, he's not. He's an English guy anyway. And he was in Snatch. And he was in The Walking Dead. I can't remember his name. I could Google that, couldn't I? Should we like? I'm gonna have to Google it. How can I Google that? Okay. Let's see if I can. Okay, it is Morgan Jones, funnily enough, if that's his name. Don't tell me his character though, does it? What is it? How annoying is that? I can show you what he looks like though. Him. Still don't know what his name was. His name's Morgan Jones. Not Freeman, but you know, well there. Not Idris Elba, no. Oh gosh, I love a bit of Idris, but no, it wasn't him. Lenny James. No, I want to know his character's name. Forgotten it. It's got like a one name, you know, like if his name would be like Conrad, or it's not, but if it was, you know what I mean? It's a name that you associate now with him, like Negan was Negan, and he was someone I'd forgotten. But that's the guy anyway, the one I showed you, and yeah, he was in it. It was really good season 1. I'm now on season 2, and it's got Keely Hawes in it, and she was, funny enough, she was in Life on Mars. You know that when I think his name was Sam. He got knocked over in the line of duty, and he was unconscious. And there's this thing: is he still unconscious in a bed somewhere, and this is all a dream? But when he woke up, he was in 1975, and policing was very, very different. You know, they used to beat up their suspects and be very sexist and racist and everything else back in those days. So you know, life was different, and he woke up in a PC kind of, you know, everything done by the book way, and then he woke up in 1975 with Gene Hunt. And so the two women that were in that was Keely Hawes, and there was another woman who was a young PC, but they used to call them WPCs in those days, women police officer. And both of those were in season 2 of this thing. And I just thought, oh, not just one of them, but both of them. It's really quite weird. They're both police in it as well. How strange. Morgan! You did it! You did it! Morgan! See what I mean? It's like a name that's just him, like one name. Morgan. You did it! Well done, well done. That's great. I'm so glad. Thank you. It was going to drive me nuts. Is it? I hate forgetting things. Usually I'm the one who remembers. You know when someone says, "Well, have I seen that person before?" I'm always the one that knows. It's weird. I'm always like, "Oh, no, I've seen that person before." And you know what Gary sometimes says? That person was in, say, Walking Dead. And I go, "No, they weren't." You know, it really isn't that person, you know. And I've got a thing for faces, you know. And I think it's because, and he should do it as well, because he's deaf. And whereas a lot of people will look at someone's eyes, I look at their mouth. I don't know if it's because I kind of somehow lip read a bit, but the eyes, although I do see people's eyes, I don't look at them. I tend to look at mouths. And sometimes it's just obviously to me that it's not that person. I mean, Gary always gets it wrong, but can't get everything right, can you? God, I've done it again. I really have no idea why it keeps happening. It's bugging me. So what are you all up to? I'm up to this creeper blanket. Once I get past that, I can then get on with doing this mile a minute blanket that I want to do. I want to make some wearables, even if they're not for me, but I do want to get some done this year. And I want to stop going dry, because it's very annoying So yeah, water. What have you got? You know what is it, Crystal? As you say, what's in your cup? What's this called? Guinness Clear, wasn't it? Guinness Clear, as they call it. I think that was you could go to the pub and you could ask for a Guinness Clear just to pace yourself with the alcohol. I think was the whole way around that. But yeah, it's not really obviously a Guinness Clear. But yeah, do you know? Do you think Idris Elba will be Bond or not? Or don't you care? Because, you know, the last time I went to see Luther at the cinema, there were all these like little what they call Easter eggs in there. They were either Easter eggs or they were red herrings. Because there were things like he found himself in a cocktail bar and he went up to the counter and he was looking, he didn't know what to have. And the bartender said, "Martini, sir?" And he went, "No, I'll have a beer." And then there was another thing at the end of that where it looked like MI5 or MI6 turned up and offered him a job. So yeah, coffee and crocheting a throw. Oh, okay. What kind of throw? I'd love to see him as 007. I really would. You know, there was this thing, oh, you can't have a black Bond, blah, 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 blah. Yes, you can. I didn't like the idea of a female Bond. That's just silly. I don't think that was going to fly. But they did, did put a woman in as 007 in the last. I don't like it. I don't like it. But I don't mind, what nationality he is. I don't mind if he was to be like an Australian Bond, if he was like Chris Hemsworth, for instance. You know what I mean? That would be fine by me. Do you know what I think would be a really good Bond and should probably be considered for Bond is Liam Hemsworth, because he's not Chris Hemsworth. He's almost, he's not quite. And for someone like Chris Hemsworth, he's Thor, and he'll always be Thor in my eyes. But Liam Hemsworth is a little bit on the more modest side of Chris Hemsworth. So, and he's darker, and I just think he looks more suave, if you like. Whereas, you've got Chris Hemsworth can play James Hunt 1 minute, Thor the next, somebody funny the next, whereas his brother is a little bit less versatile in that respect. He's not picked for as many different roles. And I just think that Liam Hemsworth would make a good Bond, I think. But I also think that Idris would make a fantastic Bond. I do love a bit of... Luther was one of my favourite shows. I used to love watching Luther. And then he started appearing in Hollywood and making movies and stuff. And he makes as many American things as he does English. So, but he's kind of an Englishman, really. Oh, you're making a bod pattern using Scarfy yarn? Yeah, I do. I've got too many projects on the go. But I have some Scarfy yarn somewhere. Do you know, that's got me thinking. I don't know where that might be. I think it's up there. Kind of, like these cubbies quite deep. So there's some yarn behind the yarn. And I've got a feeling it's kind of up there behind yarn, the Scarfy. I did make some stuff out of Scarfy yarn ages ago. It was one that was black and teal, but I've got one that's kind of a raspberry colour and black. And I think I had a purple and black, and I've also got more of the teal. I never used it again. I don't know why, because it is really nice. I love the Scarfy. They made a really, really beautiful rainbowy type Scarfy once, and I never was able to get hold of that because it was just so pretty. And I thought, I don't even know if it was the same texture, but it was made like Scarfy. Saw it in the Joann's site, but it had no quantity. so I couldn't get it, unfortunately. I did get a couple of orders from Joanne, but I got a bit bored with waiting for stuff, because the only problem with that is they would, and it was crazy really, because their postage was really, really low, like 10 quid or something stupid. And they would send about 8 parcels. And you think, surely you've made a loss. You must have made a loss to send all these different, because some one minute you're getting a box, the next minute you're getting something in a bag, then you're getting something else in a bag. They have to make a loss. It's impossible for them to have made money. Sending abroad just doesn't make any sense, does it? I haven't made anybody else's pattern for a long, long time. In fact, I haven't read a pattern for so long. A proper pattern, you know, like if you go to a shop and you buy a pattern, or you get one with a magazine and you like it. It's been so long, I wonder if I could do it. I mean, I used to be able to. My mum taught me when I was very young to read patterns, and I used to buy, in fact, in one of the books that I'm doing, and it might have been the one that popped up today, there was a matinee jacket that they put in there that was very similar to one that I made from a pattern. You know, like when you buy patterns in shops. And it was either a Peter Pan or a Peyton's pattern or something like that. I can't remember. And I sold all my patterns. Oh, I wish I hadn't now, but ages and ages ago I sold them all at a car boot sale. But I used to make this one, and it was identical to that. It had these like little bobble stitches and little gaps in it. It was cute. And I used to make the pink bubbles and then white. Made it for my nieces, and they're 40 now. So shows you how long ago it was. I know I couldn't. I must have only made it when I was about 4 years old. Just saying. Hate how Joanne splits orders up. I know. It's crazy, isn't it? Can't read patterns. You have to watch tutorials or make it up yourself. That's kind of me. I make most things up myself. I'm just not disciplined enough to follow somebody's pattern. I think that's why. So whenever, you know, like that matinee jacket, I would make that, and then my brain would say, next time you make that, I'm not doing it that way. Like if it was an angel top, and then they'd get you to make it and then sew it up at the back, and you think, if I just went in the round, there's no seam. You know, why would I do that? Why would I sew it when I don't have to sew it? And there would always be things on the pattern that I would afterwards think, not doing it like that next time, do it my own way. And you can work out, even then, I could work out the stitch counts and sort it all out in my head, you know. So I'd always come away from whatever pattern thinking, I can do that better. So yeah, I've never not read a pattern for a long, long time. And the abbreviations and everything on patterns are awful anyway. And I was talking to somebody at Signet, one of the reps, and I said, you know, why is it that there's lots and lots of knitting patterns, but you don't always get lots of crochet patterns? Because, you know, I like to put a few in my shop. And they said because people don't tend to write it properly. They submit them to us and we'd like to use them, but they've not written it in the correct format. And I said, why do you insist on that format in the industry? Because that format is hard to understand for everybody, especially new people coming up. So why do they have to be written in that hieroglyphics? You know, who said that it has to be that way? And it's crazy, isn't it, really? Just because that's the way our grandmothers did it, why do we have to do it that way? Surely it's better to write it in terms everybody understands. And I don't know, but they like them in that archaic format, which is why not many people submit their patterns, and when they do, they don't always get they don't always get accepted because of it. My phone buzzed then. I must have got a message. Let me just check. I did. I've got a... Oh. My payment is due on... Thank you very much. Charming. I It's only, I have a Very account. I don't have like lots of catalogues or loans or HPs or whatever they're called these days. I hate monthly bills. Really, really hate them. So if I can, I try and pay anything that I have to pay. I try and do it in one hit. But I do have a Very, and I don't order much. But just for instance, Tyler's birthday is round the corner. That's who the creeper blanket's for. So he's really into Minecraft, and you can't just go in the shops and buy Minecraft stuff. So I looked on Very, and they had a few bits and bobs, so I ordered them. So that's how I use it, and then I just pay it off. So I don't like, oh, I need a new washing machine. I'll buy it from Very. You know, when I first moved in here, I did that. I don't know, I had a washing machine, but I bought a tumble dryer from Very, and it lasted just over the year. So the guarantee had run out by about a month, and the whole thing just packed up, and they wouldn't do anything about it. So I figured I'll never do that again. I'll never buy anything electrical from a place like that. And the only reason I did it was because when I moved in here, my house was up for sale, and I knew within a month or so I'd have the money to just pay it all off. So I ordered things like table and chairs from, I think it was Next, who I'll never use again, thanks to them stitching me up over that table, and a few other things. And I knew that I'd just be able to pay them straight off again. But other than that, I wouldn't build up those kind of bills because I really hate them. I really, really hate, when I used to earn a lot, it used to really bug me that I'd get my pay and all of a sudden it'd be like, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye. And it would just all go. And you think, oh, you know, all those monthly bills like car, you know, credit card, you know, just gone. And you think, no, I'm not doing that anymore. So I always try, even things like car tax, car insurance, I try and just whack that off. And so I don't have monthly. No more Never Never for me. Not going to do it anymore. I know it's not always easy. Has everybody gone to sleep? Am I boring? Is that what it is? Better not say yes. I bet you want to, don't you? I bet you want to say, oh, I want to say yes. Just see a reaction. Cheers. I'm going to have a quick slurp. It's not going to be a mega long one today, because I have to cook dinner. I've been drawing the short straw lately, doing all the cooking. Can you believe it? Even when Gary's off, I've been doing the cooking. And the fact that I've been making things like chicken Alfredo and things like that, and he's decided, oh, that's really nice, and he wanted to have it again before we start dieting. So I've been making lots and lots of food. And but today we're just having sort of simple things like sausages with jacket potatoes. So really simple, but I can't seem to get in the right frame of mind to get on the diet and to start it, you know. Anyway, I'm going to get off as I have washing up to do and drudgery in the kitchen before Gary gets home, and then I've got to start doing our dinner. So thank you for spending some time with me. It's really horrible outside, so it was nice just to sit and have a chat. Bye for now. See you soon. Take care, everyone.